Alright, so this will be a showcase of a mod that I've been working on. What you can see here is essentially a mod that allows the user, the player, to build jump gates. The idea is pretty simple. I want to be able to build a structure that doesn't require jump drives, but instead allows me to create something fixed in the world that I can travel through that will teleport my ships to another gate linked to this one. So here I have a rather big version. It has solar panels on the sides because power draw is depending on the size of the gate, the distance to the other gate, and also the size of a ship or the mass of the ship that I'm trying to move through a gate. At the moment, the mod consists of two different blocks. We have the jump gate controller, at the moment using a model of the regular custom turret controller, and jump gate frames, which consist of the interior wall. So you just need a single controller, and at least those 4 rows of interior walls that build kind of a chamber or ideally a tube. And the inside of that will act as a jump chamber, which you can configure in the controller. The controller has a different kind of options, so I can show that later in another set when we are building one. But you can basically set different visibility options for player only or owner only, faction only, and public, so that you can even build gates that are accessible to other players on the server that do not belong to your faction or that you do not own. And yeah, let's give it a little bit of a showcase. So the gate that we have here is linked to another version that is over 2,000 kilometers away. And I can use any ship that I like. So for example, the smaller one will travel through here. Once I'm inside, the jump is initiated and I'm transported to the other end of the other gate. And as you can see, we are at the Fargate GPS point and came from that location over there. You can barely make out the planets that we came from. So over there and at the GPS position is the other planet. And we can, of course, just travel backwards through that gate to jump back again. You might notice a small delay between arriving and getting rotated. That is due to a limitation in the engine. We cannot directly transport a grid and apply rotation to it. It needs to be delayed by a couple of frames. Otherwise, it ends up with a lot of jerking and problems. And it doesn't only work for small grids, but also, of course, for large grids. So here we're traveling with a large grid ship and arrive on the other side of that gate. I'm still fine-tuning a lot of properties like power consumption and also the delay between actually applying the position change and the rotation. So there's currently a rather big delay for, well, security reasons, and I'm still fine-tuning that. Here you can see that a jump is not initiated directly because I haven't fully left the jump chamber after arrival in this gate. So to not trigger an endless loop between back and forth jumping between those gates, I need to fully exit that first, and then, yeah, the ship is rather slow. Once I enter that again, I will travel back to the other end of that connection. Huh, interesting. Ah yeah, now it worked. Yeah, again, I'm still fine-tuning the details of that mod. It's not perfect yet. And more like a teaser of what it can do. some more details. You can build them at any shape and way you want, and also nearly any size. There's a minimum requirement of space that needs to be available inside of that chamber, because it uses like a 1 meter buffer to the inside, so that you do not directly trigger a jump when you just enter the first or touch the first block that is part of the inner circle of the chamber. But you can build, as you can see here, rather small ones, and it doesn't only allow the travel of ships, but also of any floating object. So if I can find the button that I've added here, I think it might be on this side, yes. So let's trigger that. And this will eject a number of ice ore blocks, and you can see that those will be transported as well. And they, well, kind of keep up with the inertia and would allow for something like a resource collection facility that is dumping the stuff into a nearby gate and collect it on the other side, wherever that is. The mod, of course, the particle effects are still work in progress. It's a at the moment a dummy particle effect that I've added based on the effect of Elite Dangerous found on the workshop. I can't remember the author, but thanks to him, it's a very awesome looking particle effect. But I've reduced the runtime of that and need to come up with a custom version for the mod itself without just copying what he did. So let's stop that again. Yeah, again, still fine-tuning this, the visuals, but as you can see, this allows for transportation of any floating object, and also works with PAM, the automated miner and shuttle system. So if I undock here, it will travel between the two portals, entering the first one, initiating the jump sequence, arrive at the destination, and continue from there to once again dock on our little station here. Of course, I can't really say that it will work 100% every time, but in the test that I did so far, it was working pretty well. There's like a not a glitch, but more like a funny behavior when I travel back, because I took quite some time to locate or orient myself when I exited the other gate while recording the route. It looks kind of strange when the shuttle goes back that same road, because it will first enter the jump gate, arrive on the other side, and then not directly continue the route, but go a little bit back and forth. But that doesn't matter, because the system or the mod remembers that you just arrive through that gate, and it won't trigger another exit sequence or jump sequence. So that isn't really an issue. Here we are, and you can see it's stopping and then continuing further again. But it works fine. The mod is, or should be, multiplayer capable. This is still something I need to test, but it's written in a way that it should work on servers as well. Gates do not have to be actively loaded to be traveled to when entering one. So you should be able to create a network of gates throughout the server and be able to create automated mining and trading routes, or at least shuttle transportation routes throughout the system that you have. And no, I haven't tested that at all with the Real Solar Systems mod. I haven't used that one yet, so I don't know what kind of requirements that will have, and for sure it will cause issues when you try to work with moving planets, and they might collide with those jump gates, because the jump gates have a hard requirement that they need to be stations. You cannot use mobile jump gates for this mod. They have to be stationary. And yeah, there's still a couple of bugs to be fixed before I dare to release anything like that to the workshop. But yeah, it's a little teaser, and will probably be the foundation of a Let's Play series that I'm planning to do. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will keep you guys updated on the progress.